Welcome back to Bibliophiles Audiophiles. Today we're doing X in our ABC challenge. So we went with XOXO by Axie Oh. The description is, Jenny's never had much time for boys, K-pop, or really anything besides her dream of being a professional cellist. But when she finds herself falling for a K-pop idol, she has to decide whether their love is worth the risk. A modern, forbidden romance wrapped in the glamorous and exclusive world of K-pop, XOXO is perfect for fans of Jenny Han and Maureen Gu. Jenny didn't get to be an award-winning, classically trained cellist without choosing practice over fun. That is until the night she meets Jae-woo. Mysterious, handsome, and just a little bit tormented, Jae-woo is exactly the kind of distraction Jenny would normally avoid, and yet she finds herself pulled into spending an unforgettable evening wandering Los Angeles with him on the night before his flight home to South Korea. With Jae-woo an ocean away, there's no use in dreaming of what could have been. But when Jenny and her mother move to Seoul to take care of her ailing grandmother, who does she meet at the elite arts academy she's just been accepted to? Jae-woo. Oh, you're welcome.
Oh.
Finding the dreamy stranger who swept you off of your feet in your homeroom is one thing, but Jae-woo isn't just any student. Turns out, Jae-woo is a member of one of the biggest K-pop bands in the world, and like most K-pop idols, Jae-woo is strictly forbidden from dating anyone. When a relationship means not only jeopardizing her place at her dream music school, but also endangering everything Jae-woo's worked for, Jenny has to decide once and for all just how much she's willing to risk for love. XOXO is a new romance that proves chasing your dreams doesn't have to mean sacrificing your heart. From acclaimed author Axie Oh. Content warnings are bullying, cancer, death of parent, medical content, stalking, grief, injury detail, and sexual content. Ooh, I forgot to mention, this book is available on Kindle Unlimited. If you don't have Kindle Unlimited, it's $11.99 for the Kindle version, and $11.19 for the paperback and hardcover versions.
I believe it's on Spotify Premium too. I know I listened to it. I just don't remember if I listened to it through Spotify or if I borrowed it from the library.
Let me check real quick. Yeah, this could have been a Libby read.
I can look on Libby and see what my previous...
It's included with Premium if you have Spotify.
Oh, I did borrow it from the library.
Okay,
so if your library has it, you might be able to borrow it off of Libby.
Reviews.
Okay, so Storygraph's average rating is a 3.74, and the 1-star review I picked says, I can't deny that this story is cringe as hell. I tried my best to read it until the end, but I just couldn't. I realized that it might be too cringy because I'm also a fan of Tanny's, and then it says idols. I couldn't bring myself to finish it. It's officially on my DNF list. I ended my reading of this page on page 252. I know it's almost there, but I just couldn't. And the 5-star I picked says, what a lovely story. I love this book because it's very simple and adorable. I love learning about some Korean culture and food. I'll definitely read the second book. I read a lot of high fantasy books, so this was a lovely light read between books. If you are a fan of K-dramas, I recommend this. Goodreads, the average rating is a 3.8. The 1-star I picked says, would have thoroughly enjoyed it if she ever threw her hair up into a messy bun, pulled on some tights and a baggy striped sweater, dulled the shine of her sparkling brown orbs by putting on her thick glasses without which she is legally blind, and eventually ventured downstairs to see all the members of fictional group XOXO lined up in her kitchen finalizing their financial agreement with her stepmother, but unfortunately she didn't, so 1 star.
Oh my gosh.
And then 5 stars says, I totally forgot how much I love the forbidden love trope, and this book delivered exactly that. I really enjoyed reading about South Korea customs, cultures, and ideals. This was such a feel-good novel. Literally Jenny out here living my dream. And on Amazon, the average rating is a 4.3. The 2-star I picked, because there wasn't any 1-stars, says, a little bit cliche, too predictable. And the 5-star says, this is such a fun, lighthearted story that dives into the life of a girl on the verge of adulthood who finds her spark and a beautiful love story of her own in the process. And that is all she wrote. So now it's time for our man.
The man of the hour.
Of every hour.
James.
There's some spoilers coming up, sweetie. You better cover your ears.
My first note is, in general, about the audiobook version that I read. The narrator is named Greta Jung, J-U-N-G. I don't want to really butcher that, but I know it's Asian. I looked it up, and she is a Korean-American human being. And I'm really glad they chose someone who is Korean-American to read this book, because I don't think it would have hit the same if it was a white chick.
No. Nothing against white chicks. We're white chicks.
Nothing about white chicks. No, give me more white chicks. But, I mean, I feel like it just wouldn't be culturally appropriate to have a white chick read this as opposed to, like, a Korean.
That she, like, pronounced everything correctly.
Yes, I mean, not like a white chick couldn't pronounce everything. I don't know, I just feel like it felt
right.
Right. Like, more authentic, I guess, in a way. Because, I mean, the main character is a Korean American, so.
Yeah. Jenny works at her dad and non-biological uncle's karaoke's bar, but the dad passed away.
Yep.
I think it was like her dad's dream to see her be a cellist.
Cello?
I said cellist.
Cellist.
Well, I said cellist when I was reading. Anyways, cellist. There's no H.
It's pronounced cello.
It's not cello?
No.
Oh.
It's a cello.
Well, suck my chick. Anyways. She's good.
Yeah.
At the cello, but they called her soulless.
Oh, well, you know.
Because they're like, well, there's like, whenever she was like performing for something, I think it was like for an award or something, or school, they were like, oh, we really like it, but like, there's no feeling. Like, you can tell this is like very rehearsed and practiced, but you don't feel anything.
Which it's good to be good, but like, if you're not putting any kind of like emotional stuff towards it, it's not. Yeah, the whole little cello part of this book reminded me, I believe it's If I Stay. It's either If I Stay.
Naomi?
No. It's by someone else. I can't remember the name.
If it were, never mind.
Was I Ever Here?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
No, If I Stay is a book by, I know Gail is in the name somewhere, but it's a girl. She goes into a coma after some accident. And,
Gail Foreman?
Yes. So I'm pretty sure she plays a cello. It's either that book or this book called In a Heartbeat, which I read back in like high school. Which one of the girls, it's related, one of the girls in one of those books was a cello player, and it kind of just reminded me of that.
Yeah.
Even though I can't remember which book it was. Also, have you ever seen Gossip Girl?
Yes.
Okay. Every time they kept saying XOXO in this book, in my head, I kept going, XOXO, Gossip Girl.
Oh my gosh.
Every single time. And they say XOXO so many times in this book.
Yeah, it's like...
Like, if you didn't know what the name of this book was, you knew because of how many times they said XOXO.
The entire time that I was listening/reading this book, I was thinking of the you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, by Rosie?
Something like that,
But it's got Bruno Mars in it. Yeah, that is literally the only thing that kept going through my mind was like, I wonder if they like this song. Because it's not really K-pop, but it is an Asian artist, I think.
Yes, I think so.
Anywho, there's a boy around her age at the karaoke bar, and he won't leave. So she was like, tell you what, I'm going to challenge you to a karaoke battle.
Yep.
And if I win, you have to leave. And I'm just like, why?
Because he was cute.
I guess, because like literally she went from, oh no, I'm so shy, I can't talk to him. Let's sing.
Listen, okay, I can understand that and to an extent because I'm very shy as a person. But I went on a cruise and I was just like, you know what?
That's true.
I'll sing karaoke on the cruise.
That's true. You do get it like...
I did. And it reminded me, like, her doing like her whole cello thing kind of reminded me of me being like, you know, doing the karaoke on the cruise.
Yeah.
Because with her, she like does her cello stuff and afterwards everyone's just like, oh my god, you were so amazing.
That's so good. Yeah.
And then like when I was on the cruise, like even days after like I did my whole karaoke thing, people were just like, oh my god, I saw you doing karaoke and you were like so really good. Sweet. And I was just like, oh my god, I can't believe, because there's like hundreds of people on like
my favorite part, or my favorite place to go do karaoke at is this local bar because everybody's drunk.
Yeah.
They're not going to remember it.
Apparently people didn't forget me. So I was just like, I was really flattered because I'm very
that's
shy.
So sweet.
So it was an older lady, but still like it. And I wasn't drunk when I did karaoke, so I could do it sober.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. So
she won the karaoke battle.
She did. And they left and they ran around town together.
Yep.
And then they hid in a photo booth.
Yeah, because she made some drunk guy mad at her, I think.
Yeah, and I made note of that because I wanted to let you know that I love photo booths.
Dude, I love photo booths.
I love photo booths.
I wrote that he grabbed her hand and they were running around town and I'm like, they're going to tell their grandkids about this one day.
They will. That's so sweet. And they have that picture from the photo booth that they can show them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's sweet. I didn't think about that. And then after their whole night together, her mother is going to South Korea and she's just like, Mommy, take me with you. And she moves to South Korea and she mentions how it's like a big move. And honestly, like I felt that.
That's a big move, yeah.
Maybe not to her extent of moving countries, but I made a big move where I moved several states away.
Yeah.
And pretty much changed up my life. So I felt that. Your cat's staring at me.
Playmate.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, something that kind of makes me mad is like the mom was like, okay, you've never been away from me. I'm going to move to Korea. You stay here. And she was like, wait a minute, let me just come with you. And then they get to Korea, which is somewhere this girl has never been.
Yep.
Like, she's part Korean, yes, but she has never been there. And her mom's like, you got a phone. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't remember if she spoke Korean or not.
She does.
Oh, she does. Okay. Because I'm like, could you imagine being taken to a different country and just
Not knowing anything.
not knowing, like, the language or where to go or anyone there but your mom and your grandmother?
That's how I felt when I went to Paris.
I know.
And Amsterdam, because, like, people, I mean, there's people who speak English there, but, like, you don't have that many people who speak it, and then you have to figure out a lot of other things.
Yes.
And it was hard because, like, we had got an Uber from our hotel to, like, the airport when we were in Paris.
Yeah.
And I was trying to explain to him that my godmother, who's the one who took me there, was trying to figure out issues with the hotel because they were trying to charge us for stuff that we didn't, have. And she was, like, arguing with them about it.
Mhm.
And, like, the guy, like, loaded our luggage in, and he was getting mad at us. He was like, we gotta hurry up. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I need help.
I've never been here.
I
Calm
don't
down.
speak French.
Oh my gosh, that would be so scary to me.
It was, and then I, like, ran inside, and I'm like, the guy's getting really mad. Can we, like, go?
We can go, yeah. He's saying we need to leave, like, immediately. That's so funny.
But yeah, so she does all this research. She finds a school for herself. She enrolls. She gets in. They pay the tuition and yada yada. And then
Goes
she
to the
meets her
uniform
roommate.
store.
And her roommate, at first, before she opened up, reminded me of the roommate from Pitch Perfect. Did you ever see Pitch
I
Perfect?
don't think I watched Pitch Perfect.
Okay, well, anyways,
I
so,
think I have.
the main character in that the movie, holy wow, what's her name? I don't know, it's Anna Kendrick's character. So she gets to the college, she gets into her room, and she's trying to be all nice. She's just like, hi, my name is Becca, blah, 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 blah. Her name's Becca, I just remembered. And the roommate just doesn't talk to her, and she's just like, English? No English? Do you, because her roommate was, like, Asian. Like, her roommate just was not interested in talking to her, so, it reminded me of
this one a lot.
of that.
Sorry? Or was that?
Oh, I didn't write down her name.
Okay. I know Sori is a friend of Jaewoo's.
Yeah, I think so. That's most her.
Yeah, I think it was Sori. Okay. Oh, literally, the note above that I was looking at, Sori's James' roommate. So apparently there's a scandal with XOXO with one of the singer, or Nathaniel. I wrote down the name. And there was a scandal, and then Sori's mom is the CEO of the company that has XOXO's contract. And so, like, she kind of low-key grew up with, I don't know about grew up, because I don't know if he's a child pop star, but has known him for several years. So that's why they're so close together.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then she finds out that Jaewoo goes to the school, and then, he's just, like, not talking to her, ignoring her, and she's just like, well, okay then. Because, like, they exchanged numbers, and he just, like, full on went radio silent, didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And so then, later, he pulls her aside at some point, and he goes, well, we could be friends, but in private.
That's so, like, stupid.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't like that.
if you are going to act like you're embarrassed to know me, I don't want to know you.
Exactly.
I don't know if it was like he was embarrassed to know her, but I think it was about the scandal thing. I think they were, like, in trouble still from that.
Yeah.
You know?
So they just didn't want, even if they were just friends, to, like, be a part of it, because they knew, like, oh.
I think that was also part of it, was he was in the public eye all the time, and he didn't want her to like,
get into
suffer with that. Yeah. Because, I mean, that's gotta be awful.
Yeah.
You know, like paparazzi. That's something I've noticed between, like, regular celebrities and Christian celebrities. Like, paparazzi don't go after Christian celebrities a lot. Like, I don't really see them, like, splashed on magazine covers or on the internet or on YouTube. Like, I don't see people talking bad about them, you know, because they're kind of, like, to themselves. They're not going to be involved with all this, like, paparazzi drama TV stuff.
Speaking of TV, so the boys go on to a TV show.
Yes.
And the younger guy from the group, I don't remember his name. Do you have his name written down?
I have Nathaniel, Jaewoo. No, I wrote down...
Okay, well, it's not
stars.
Nathaniel. It's the younger one. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was just, he and Nathaniel, like, were all, like, buddy-buddy with Jenny, and the younger guy was just like, I'm gonna do this, which is a little finger heart, and that's how you're gonna know that I'm, like, thinking about you.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it reminded me of you, because I remember you said that the finger heart thing is so stupid.
Oh, this thing?
Yeah, this thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not wrong, though, because that's not a heart.
Yeah. No,
That's just like...
It's like the thing you do with your finger and your thumb, for, like, our listeners. Obviously, we don't have camera set up.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, the thing, your finger and your thumb, and, like, you just kind of, like, line them up and then twist them in opposite directions. That does not look like a heart to me.
This is a heart. You put your hands together in, like, crescent shapes, and you're just like
even
that.
this right here. Like, I can understand
Or even
that.
like this. Yeah, but that's more of a heart.
That's better than this.
That's
Because this, to me, means, like, spices. Or
Yeah,
something.
like
Like, it doesn't mean heart. But I did like how Sori and Jenna became friends. Like, not like immediately, but pretty quickly. I feel like
liked
pretty
it?
quickly. I did like it because it reminded me of our friendship. Because they're like ride or die, no judgment.
Yeah.
And like I can literally tell you the worst thing I've ever done in my life, and you would be like, "Oh, girl, I did this."
Yeah.
Like,
let me top you.
Literally, like, let me tell you, girl, you don't even know. And then I'll just be like, "Wow, that's cool."
Wow. We're like the same.
Yeah. To the point where people keep asking us if we're sisters, apparently.
Yes.
Like,
or like if we're like lovers.
I know people were like, "Are you guys gay or related? We can't really tell." And we're like, neither.
Neither.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Anyways, her first date with Jay Woo and her first date, like, ever,
Yeah.
was at the movies, and I just want to let you know that was my first date, too.
Oh my gosh, me too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, my
That's
first
because
date.
there's not much to do here in our small town.
Well, this was in my hometown, small town.
Oh.
What did you see?
Oh my gosh, what was it? Me and my husband's first movie date. I don't remember my other boyfriends because, like, one of them worked in the movie theater, so we saw so many movies. It was unreal.
Yeah, I dated him, too.
Yeah, the same guy you dated.
He took me to, well, he didn't even take me to the movies.
I like hung out with him while he was at work a lot because I had nothing else to do in my spare time. So I just would go up there and sit in a random movie theater and watch movies while he worked. Anyways, but like me and my husband's, our first one was the Black Panther.
Oh.
And for some reason that was screaming romantic to me. I don't know.
My first ever date, like ever, was to the movies, and we saw this movie called Fist Fight. And it was the worst movie I have ever seen in my
What was it
entire
about?
life.
Was it like a comedy or?
It was supposed to be a comedy.
Oh no. That bad, huh?
Let me see who, like, it came out in 2019. Let's see, Fist. What I wanted to see was Split, but by the time we went to go...
Split would not have been a good date movie.
I think so.
I watched Split with my husband, and no, I might watch it with my brother. I watched it with somebody, but that one messed me up.
That's why I thought it would be good.
No, I mean, it's talking about rape and all kind of stuff.
Oh.
Like, have you seen Split?
No. Still to this day.
Literally, at one point, this guy kidnapped like 2 or 3 girls, and then one of them's like, just pee on yourself when he comes in, so he thinks you're gross, so he doesn't touch you. And so he walks in and starts like touching her and stuff, and so she pees on herself, and he throws her on the floor and talks about how disgusting she is and storms out, and like they're all just sobbing. That would not have been a good first date movie.
Well, anyways, I just really wanted to see. There was nothing else that was out that was interesting to me, so I was like, that's what I wanted to see. Actually, I lied. It was from 2017. But anyways, so I wanted to see that, but by the time like the date came, the movie was not in theaters anymore, so we went and saw Fist Fight because he was interested in seeing it. And it stars Charlie Day and Ice Cube.
Oh no.
And it's about these 2 dads who are like rivaling each other at their kids' school. And it just, they get into a fist fight at some point in time. And it was just, it was bad. I think there's a scene from it that you've probably seen before. Let me see if I can find it.
Is it the one with the girl on stage?
I'm pretty
singing. Yeah. Oh gosh, it's got a lot of cuss words in it.
Yes.
Yeah. I've seen that so many times. I've never seen the movie.
Yeah, the fist fight school dance. Like you've seen that clip online where the girl is like dancing to that little thing and everyone's like making fun of her.
Wasn't Ice Cube also in Are We There Yet? Was that Ice Cube?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's from that movie.
Oh my gosh.
We saw that and I was just like, that was so awful.
Oh my gosh.
And then we went and got ice cream afterwards. And that's when I learned that on dates, you don't get ice cream cones, you get ice cream in a cup. Because I talked my mouth off and I didn't even get to finish my ice cream because it melted in my hand.
Oh no.
But yeah, I thought that was cute that her first ever date was at a movie theater, and so was mine. And also, on her first date with Jay Woo, she meets his family.
Ooh, yeah, that's true. It's like our first date. This is my mom. You know?
And my sister. And
they
we're
were
gonna spend the night.
so cute together. Like, I love, like, young love. Especially, like, if it's new. Like, just, that makes me feel, like, really giddy and happy. Because I'm just like, oh my gosh, they're so sweet.
Yeah.
And then she was offered an cello opportunity in the States. So she would have to leave Korea pretty much immediately.
After, like, all the school stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was, like, within a few weeks.
Yep, and she was unsure of whether or not she wanted to do that because she didn't want to leave Jae-woo.
I know. She can't have her cake and eat it, too.
No, she couldn't.
What is this, fiction?
Yeah, right? Oh, speaking of celebrities and dating, I could never date a celebrity.
Mm-mm.
No, I that's too much for me to handle.
No, the camera, always being scared I was going to slip up and say something or do something that would embarrass them.
Yeah, no.
Like, I attend one of my husband's work events a year. It's usually the Christmas party, and I usually have anxiety for several days before because I'm scared I'm going to embarrass him somehow, which I'm an adult.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to run around like a dumb little kid. I know that. I know how to act like an adult at fancy events. But at the same time, I'm like, what if I do something that's going to embarrass him? Like this last time, I danced a lot because I love to dance. And there's, they had, live music. They had a dance floor. So I danced a lot. And like several of his coworkers were just like, wow, why is she doing that? And like, it made me feel really embarrassed. But like, I was having fun. So I kept doing it. Like, I asked him afterwards, I'm like, that wasn't embarrassing, was it? And he was like, no, why would it be? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm just scared to embarrass you.
Oh, and then I think you said, like, someone was just like, oh, like, you must be wasted. And you were just
literally.
like, no, I'm very sober. And they're like, oh, why?
She was like, why are you dancing then? And I'm like, because it's fun. I like it.
Like, I mean...
Do I have to be drunk to enjoy something?
Apparently.
I don't know. I did get offered a job while I was there because one of the ladies that I was dancing with, she was turned, but oh my gosh, she was so much fun. And then like I was telling her that I was trying to get in the school system, and then she was like, oh my gosh, I'm a principal. And I was like, what? And she was like, if you're willing to travel, you have a job with me. But how funny is it that I was getting like jiggy with it with a principal when I'm trying to get in a school system job?
Yeah.
And then she was like, I can give you a job. And I'm like,
I could get you a job.
I'm like, wait till you're sober and then we'll talk about it. Because I feel like if I was wasted enough, I'd give anybody a job if I liked them.
One of the things that Jae-woo said, because she was just like, and we're not going to be dating like long term, I guess, blah, blah, blah. And he was just like, why? Because you don't date people just to...
Exactly. You don't
not
date
end
people
up
to waste
together.
Time,
which is true. I mean, that's how dating should be.
That's how I view it, yeah.
That's how a lot of people, not a lot of people, that's how some people don't view it. They're just like dating just to have fun. And I'm like, I don't understand how you can do that.
Yeah.
Just to go around and just
I've
be
been told so many times, like, go out with a guy just so he can buy you dinner. And I'm like, if I'm going to spend the time and effort to get ready and go somewhere with someone, I'm looking for a life partner.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for a free meal.
Yeah. Although I've had a lot of free meals.
I have not, because I've dated some pretty lame dudes.
I've dated some decent, okay people, but like never anybody who was like fantastic until my man. So
I've had a guy tell me that he wasn't going to come hang out with me unless I hung out with him at his parents' house or at his job because I wasn't worth the drive.
Oh,
so
that's not... No.
No. Yeah, no. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. But now I'm like, what was I thinking?
Yeah. Don't you love looking back on things like that?
I know, and I'm like, girl, where was your brain at? Because she wasn't in the room with you. Okay, so this next note, it's kind of like, I think I got to listening to this book, and I was like, oh, this is such an interesting book. And then I realized I haven't been making notes. And so some of my notes are kind of like, maybe a few put together.
That's how some of mine are, because it's funny, because I'll be like listening to one of the books for the podcast.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like thinking, I'll just be like absorbed into it, and I won't even be thinking about notes. But then there's like books that are like not for the podcast that I'll be listening to or reading.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking about all kinds of things I'd want to talk about with you. Yeah. And then I'm like, I'm not doing this for the pod.
Dude, I feel that. So she went to the States and was going to perform the talent show or what the talent event, whatever it was. She had kept the photo of her and Jae-woo in her wallet, and it had fell out at some point, and someone found it and posted it online, revealing them dating. And so they broke up. I think this is before she went to the States. Yeah, so they broke up and she went back to the States, and she was like, well, I'm just going to go, since we had to break up, I'm just going to go do this because I need this for my cello career in the future, even though she's very young. Which I'm really glad she had this big break when she was young.
Yes.
Because that doesn't really happen a whole lot, so it made me happy. Like, I know it's fiction.
Yeah.
It made me happy thinking, like, oh, this can happen to people. They can actually make it young instead of having to wait till they're way older.
Yeah.
But he was actually in New York performing at a concert.
Yes. That's one of the things I noted because MSG, which is Madison Square Garden, if you don't know, is a really big deal and it's a big accomplishment when it comes to, like, celebrities. Like, if you, or, like, artists specifically, I guess. Or I guess comedians maybe. I don't know. But when an artist goes and performs at Madison Square Garden, that's like a really big deal, because
That's like
that is a
they made
very
it.
big venue.
Yeah.
So when they said like, oh, we're performing at Madison Square Garden, like that's a huge
That's
deal.
a huge thing, yeah. I don't know what big thing here would be. I guess they'd be JCC, because I think that's the biggest
Yeah.
here. Yeah, she raced to go see him and they made up. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, they got back together. I have one more note.
Okay. I don't have any.
Which, one of the things that I thought was really sweet that Jay Woo said, that I thought, I don't know if maybe it was just like to kind of encourage her with her cello stuff, but I thought it could like apply to a lot of things. He said, you don't practice to give a bad recital. You put time and effort into for it to be great, which I feel like is good for, like, a good way to think of like relationships at the same time, because like, yeah, you don't just, hang out with each other just to, just be together or whatever.
Yeah.
You like put time and effort into each other and get to know each other and all that stuff. You don't just date someone to be with them. You date them and get to know them and put the time and effort into actually being with them for it to be a good blossoming relationship.
My buzzwords are sweet, K-pop, and cultural, because it did talk a lot about the Korean side of things, which I would love to go to Korea one day, but I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to. But one of my favorite YouTubers, Markiplier, or Mark Fishbach if you fancy, he is Korean, and so he visits a lot and talks about it a lot, like most of his family's from there. And so, like, I don't know, it just it's kind of like, oh, like, this is more things that I didn't know about that, Markiplier probably knows about. That's really cool that this person I'm never going to meet and I could talk about something I don't understand.
Yeah. So my comments are hooked from the beginning. Which I didn't expect to be hooked from the beginning.
Dude, me neither. I saw this cover and I'm like, this is going to be some cheesy stuff.
Yeah.
But it's so good.
It was. It was cute. It was a predictable ending. But, that's kind of like how a lot of romance books are nowadays.
Especially because we've read so many, I think.
Yeah. And I honestly might read this one again.
Yeah. I gave it a 5 out of 5, so I probably will read it again. Because 5 out of 5 for me is reread.
So, initially...
Okay.
I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. But then, as I was, writing down my notes, in this book, and I was thinking about it, later, too, I was just like, you know what? I really don't have anything negative to say about this, aside from it being, predictable. So, I bumped it to a 5 out of 5.
Yeah. I mean, there was a couple moments that was, high school cringe.
Yeah.
But that's because we're adults and we know high school cringe.
Honestly, I wouldn't even mind having this on, a bookshelf either.
No.
Especially
the cover. Look how cute it is.
It's a cute cover. I mean, I wouldn't go out and get it myself, but,
I might one day. Just because, just the cover, I don't know if anyone listening has seen the cover yet, but oh my gosh, it is so pretty. It's very, pastel, and they're in the middle, and it's so sweet.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in Korea, too, just by looking at, what the landscape looks like. Yeah, it's a really cute cover.
Yeah.
But that's all I wrote.
Thank you for joining this episode of Bibliophiles Audio Files. If you'd like to reach us, we have an email at biblioaudiopod@gmail.com. Our Instagram is biblioaudiopodcast.
Yep.
So if you'd like to see our posts, we talk about things that are upcoming, events, episodes, yada yada. And we also have a website,
biblioaudiopod.com, which has things on it.
Stuff and things. If you're an author and would like to reach out for an interview, or would like to have us read and review one of your books for our audience, just send us an email, or we have a form you can fill out.
It's on the bottom of our homepage.
It's on the bottom of our homepage, or we have a link tree on Amazon. If you don't like websites, we don't either. So
yeah.
That's why there's barely anything on it.
Yep.
But thank you for listening, and you'll hear us in the next episode.
Oh, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.